Okay, we are live and in charge now, live on YouTube. So that's really lovely. I'm trying to find Laura.
I think she may have logged off and back on.
Okay. Yes, I think that is accurate, indeed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen so you'll have the worship service in front of you. Just give me one moment and I'll do that. I'm getting a couple texts. I'm trying to, as they say, multitask. A little bit of everything going on. Okay, here we go. Hopefully that was successful and everyone can see the service. And we're going to do, because I'm not exactly much of a singer, we're going to actually move and be flexible. We're going to move to our candle lighting. And so I'm going to ask Jacob Wall and his family to lead us in the candle lighting and share with us a reflection. I'm going to search for him here. There we go, and unmute. Hey, Jacob, how you doing?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. A little garbled, but I can hear you.
Okay, is this good?
That's perfect. Right there, you got it.
All right. Zoe. Another week of work is ended. Again, Shabbat brings welcome peace. We pause from our labors to let Shabbat give another dimension to our lives. These Sabbath candles are symbols of the holiness we seek. Their brightness dispels gloom and lights a path to faith and hope. Their glow reminds us of the sacred bonds that link us to our people over space and time. Their radiance summons us to fulfill our people's mission, to cast the light of freedom, justice, and peace upon all the world.
So we go stick a hamburger.
Together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu b'chesed. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen.
All right, shall I move on to my reflection?
I would love to hear your reflection.
Okay, I'll have to bring this closer. Okay. As I light the Shabbat candles with you all on this fine evening, we all reflect on the past week as we go into Shabbat and the day of rest. Although we have lived our lives so upside down the past couple months and everything seems like a blur, with each day following the same similar pattern, I would like to share with you all my reflections of this past week. I've taken 2 AP exams, celebrated being a high school senior by visiting my school at the 20th hour of the day at the 20-minute mark for 20 minutes with our football scoreboard at 2020. And I was also challenged this week with news I never thought I would actually hear. We all have been impacted by the implications of COVID-19 in several different ways. The 6 of us have lost the end of our senior year, but speaking for me personally, I have not shed a tear over this loss because I don't know what it is like to experience the end of the senior year activities, so I do not know what I'm missing out on. But when I heard that Nifty, the most powerful movement that has done so much for me and for so many, will be facing a restructuring due to a lack of funding, I could not control my emotions. As I do not know what the end of a senior year is like, I do know the power of Nifty and everything it has done for me. Nifty changed my life starting so many years ago at Temple when we first hosted LTI and I was elected to our TYG's youth group board. It changed my life when I was fortunate enough to go on Nifty in Israel. It gave me the bestest friends in the world, but most importantly, it allowed me to establish my own sense of self, come out of my comfort zone, and enjoy my high school years. When I think of Nifty and all it has done for me, I think back to my TBI community and all those in it who have inspired me to take on attending all of these new and different events and meeting new people year after year. Those at TBI pushed me to attend URJ Camp Coleman, where I learned the joy and laughter Judaism can provide you with. My Temple youth group allowed me to emerge as a leader throughout communities. I was inspired to attend URJ Kutz Camp for its final summer to learn the values of authenticity, genuinity, and leadership, and most importantly, Nifty Star, which taught me that we are inspired by what we are inspired by in Judaism is not concrete. It is everywhere and in everything we do. I'm constantly reminded of the impact my Judaism has instilled within my identity, and I'm so fortunate to have experienced this ride with my fellow seniors. Before I conclude, I would like to thank Danny for all she has done for us for so many years, and Bridget for allowing us to have the most fantastic senior year in youth group while we still have the chance. I am so happy to have you both in my life, and I think I can speak on behalf of all of us. Just as I started with the idea that Shabbat is a reflection of the past week, everything I just reflected to you all has led me to this very point and this very week, and I could not be more fortunate to have been led to this point in my life by Judaism and by you all. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Yasher Koach. That was really wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Jacob. What a wonderful reflection. We're going to continue now with Kiddush. The seventh day is consecrated to the eternal our God. With wine, our symbol of joy, we celebrate this day and its holiness. We give thanks for all of our blessings, for life and health, for work and rest, for home and love and friendship. On Shabbat, eternal sign of creation, remember that we are created in the divine image. We therefore raise the cup in thanksgiving as we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. I'm going to just do a quick check here.
Hi, Rabbi.
Yeah, there we are. How you doing?
Well, I'm better now. Sorry about this. I checked everything, and for some reason, well, never mind. I'm glad to be with you.
Glad to have you here. Let's join together then in Kiddush, Laura.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. L'chaim. Okay.
L'chaim, wonderful. And now that we're all ready to go, we did our candlelighting and our Kiddush. Let's join in some music. Let's join together first with Hine Matov. Good it is, and how pleasant when we all dwell together, even virtually.
Hey
mute myself. There we go. Now let's all join together in Lechu Naranana. We're going to continue with our service with the singing of Lecha Dodi as we symbolically welcome the Sabbath. We symbolically welcome the Sabbath bride. Let's join together in song.
Come on. Beret Bala Gam Besimcha Uvtzola Toch Emunei Am Segula Boi Chala Boi Chala Ya la la Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi Ya la 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 Ligrat Kala Ya la 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 Pene Shabbat Pene Shabbat V'kavela Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi Ya la 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 Ligrat Kala La 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 Pene Shabbat Pene Shabbat
And now we continue with our service with the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. As I've been saying sort of each week since we're at home, you can, if you want, rise in your home or rise in your heart, whichever you prefer. Let's all join together with the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam
We continue now with our prayer for the evening that celebrates God changing the seasons for us, alternating between day and night and different times of the year, having the universe continue in its heavenly courses as it should. We're going to do Roll into Dark, a setting by Noam Katz. Let's all join together.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Ore to light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night.
My pleasure now to invite another one of our seniors to come help lead us in service and to share a reflection. Amanda Golden.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggles for me too? Don't let struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Amen.
And now I will share my reflection. Temple B'nai Israel has been a constant in my life since I was 3 years old. Throughout all of the changes and transitions, from preschool to elementary to middle and eventually to high school, I always had the comfort of coming to temple every Sunday morning or Wednesday night, where I was able to connect with my Jewish peers who became my closest friends. Although I won't have this weekly ritual in the next chapter of my life, college, I will always have my friends one phone call away, and I will always cherish the lessons I learned from Danny, Rabbi, Bridget, and my religious school teachers that shaped me into the Jewish woman I am today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yashikov. That was really wonderful. Appreciate it. We're going to continue now with the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Le'olam Ba'ed.
Let's continue now with the Via Hafta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They're reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. We're going to continue now with a reading from Ilana Treiser.
When the sun rises and the night falls, when spring follows close on the heels of winter, let us remember God's promise that the rhythm of earth will uphold life forever. When we sail like Noah on uncertain seas in a wooden boat no bigger than a toy, when we fear like Noah that the end may come, if not to all life, then to us, when we look for small signs of hope, a green leaf or the branch of an olive tree, let us remember the bow that spans the, that spans the retreating rain clouds and the promises that God still keeps for us, that seed time and harvest shall not cease. Then can we give thanks for God to the fruitful earth, our dwelling place, for God's blessings bright as the rainbow in the shining sky. So hello. So as you all know, Temple B'nai Israel has been a big part of my life for a long time in my life. But high school was the time where I really began to be able to discover myself as a Jewish individual, thanks to the opportunities given to me by Temple B'nai Israel. First and foremost, my experience with Nifty Star has been absolutely invaluable to both my high school experience and my life in general. I learned how to be a leader and how to use my Judaism to make good in the world. Because of Temple B'nai Israel, I was able to visit Washington, D.C., not once, but twice, both for Lit HaKen and for the March for Our Lives, in order to pursue social justice and social action, and use the values that I have learned in order to make a positive impact on the world. Thank you to Temple B'nai Israel and to everybody who has been a part of my Jewish journey and has allowed me to get this far. As I continue forward, I might not have my specific group of seniors with me going along towards college, but I know that we will still continue to be friends for as time goes on. Thank you all so much for coming to this service tonight and celebrating us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Ilana. That was beautiful. Wonderful words. Let's continue now with Mi Chamocha. And now we continue with a reading from Josh Jacobs.
All right. So, cause us, as the highest God, to lie down in peace and to awaken each morning to renewed life and strength. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Help us to order our lives by your counsel and lead us in paths of righteousness. Be a shield about us, protecting us from hate and war, from pestilence and sorrow. Curb also within us the inclination to do evil, and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Guard our going and our out, coming in unto life and peace, from this time forth and forever. Baruch atah Adonai, hapares sukkot shalom. Aleinu ve'kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all God's people, Israel and Jerusalem. So I was able to prepare a speech because I had an AP exam today, but I'm going to say a short thank you. Thank you to Bridget and Danny for making my Jewish experience at Temple awesome. The one word that describes it is awesome. So thank you to everybody who made my experience there awesome.
Thank you, Josh. That's wonderful. Appreciate it. Mazel tov, all good things. Let's join together with the singing of Hashki Venu.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Amidenu Shomrenu Lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Leshalom. Amidenu Shomrenu Lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Leshalom. Amidenu Shomrenu Lechaim.
Beautiful. Let's continue as we celebrate the joy and the wonder that is Shabbat with Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Now we're going to continue with the Amidah HaTefillah, and leading us is going to be Alana Treiser. So let's all join together in song and in prayer. Yeah, working on that. There we go.
There we go. I think the rest of my seniors are joining me too.
Oh, that's right. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufiya gitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Elohei avotenu. Whoa. Did I just mess up the Amidah? Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
You got it.
Baruch atah Adonai. What?
Eloheinu.
Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel v'chasadim tovim, v'konei hakol, v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevi geula livnei v'nechem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחלחל חיים בחסד. מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו משני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה והחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום להללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Oh, man.
Sorry for that beginning.
No, you got it. That was wonderful. Okay, we're going to continue now as we find Sophie Klein. There she is. Okay, you got it. Okay, she's going to lead us in this reading in the bottom of the page and then share a reflection.
All right. The holiness of Shabbat is not for this day alone. We must make it overflow into all our minutes, to hallow our weekdays from these sacred moments hour by hour, to make the world a sanctuary where every human soul may be at home. May the awe we feel at times like this, at the miracle of one another united in prayer, be with us tomorrow. May it help us keep tenderness in our world, in our words, in our touch, and in the way we view one another. Looking back at my journey as a student through Temple B'nai Israel, there are so many lessons I have learned and milestones I have reached that I will cherish forever. Over the course of the years, Temple B'nai Israel did not just teach me about Jewish culture, but the values and traditions that accompany it. Through this time, I have cultivated connections, experiences, and recognized the importance that Judaism has on my life. Although I won't be able to take senior study with me, I am thankful to have made unforgettable memories with these special people. I will miss these moments, but I know that all of my best friends are only one call away. I can't wait to watch the amazing things we accomplish and the traditions we carry on. Thank you, Danny, Rabbi, and Bridget, and all my fellow peers for being such influential people and preparing me for this next chapter of my life. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Yasher Koach. Beautifully said. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Eternal source of good, we thank you for the numberless gifts and blessings that fill our days, for life itself and its endless variety, for all that sustains body and mind, for love and friendship, for the delights of the senses, and for the excellence of your Torah, which deepens our life and enriches our days. Help us, O God, to work for a just and compassionate society, where all may share your gifts in the joy of freedom. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shemcha Ulecha Na'eh Lehodot.
Amen.
Let's now continue with a prayer for peace. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon, Lechol HaShalom. Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon, Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav, Am Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Am Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tov Beinecha Levarech Et Amcha Yisrael Bechol Eit Ubechol Shah Bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Our thoughts now turn to those in our community and our loved ones who are in need of healing. Whether they are in need of physical, mental, or spiritual healing, we take them into our hearts this time of prayer. Let's join together now with our Misha Berach.
Sheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Imotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Nisheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah and let us say, Amen.
We are wishing a refuah shlema to Janice Berman, Evan Bin, Fran Brickman, Mark Edelstein, Brian Edelstein, Mark Enfinger, Danielle Heyman Feist, Linda Fine, Eric Fisk, Buddy Green, Vicky Hano, Marvin Hollander, Fran Kipling, Lori Cattleman, Hank Corner, Wendy Sugarman Krosnoff, Andy LaPrade, Elsa Mikosh, Miriam Merens, Carolee Pizzuti, Janet Polfrey, Jane Rifkin, Jess Rifkin, Ed Ross, Kevin Shower, Cal Simon, Dr. Cindy Steinman, Tanner, Dean Weissman, and Janet White. Take all of them into our hearts along with our loved ones we're thinking of at this moment. And as we say, Amen.
And let us say,
Now, my pleasure to invite Sophie Goldsmith to come up to lead us in a prayer and share her reflection.
Do not think the words of prayer as you say them go up to God. It is not the words themselves that ascend. It is rather the burning desire of your heart that rises like smoke toward heaven. If your prayer consists only of words and letters and does not contain your heart's desire, how can it rise up to God? Alrighty. My time at Temple has instilled in me the desire to be actively Jewish for the rest of my life. Not only did I learn as a student at religious school, I also learned from the religious school students when I was a madracha, and I want to keep learning about Judaism for my entire life. I think that the most significant lesson I've learned from Temple is that the core of Judaism is kindness and respect, and everything else stems from those principles. One of my favorite Jewish teachings is Pirkei Avot, which states that while it is not our responsibility to finish the work of perfecting the world, we are not free to desist from doing it. Temple has given me countless opportunities to try to perfect the world, including going to March for Our Lives in Washington, D.C. 2 years ago, and participating in Mitzvah Day programs and Give Kids the World. The drive to make our society kinder and more just is something that I will take with me for the rest of my life, to whichever temples become my home. But no matter where life takes me, Temple B'nai Israel and the lessons I've learned will stay with me. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, Yashakar. Beautiful job, Sophie. Thank you. We're going to continue now with a moment of silent prayer and reflection, each of us praying in the direction our hearts may guide us at this moment. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We've heard such wonderful words of reflection and of gratitude from our seniors. And now it's our turn to say a couple words as well, some words of blessing. So I'm first going to invite Danny Gamson, a Director of Education, to say a few words. Danny, it's all yours.
Thank you, Rabbi. First, I want to say Mazel Tov to our seniors. That was beautifully done, and thank you for sharing your words with us. Temple B'nai Israel became my community during a time when finding my new comfort zone was imperative. For those that don't know, I was in the process of scaling back my consulting business. I had been traveling 2 to 3 weeks a month and had a 2- and 4-year-old at home. Rabbi Treiser and I connected as we had been colleagues in South Florida years earlier, and as they say, the rest is history. As I reflect on the past 7 years and the words I wanted to share with you tonight, amongst the many thoughts I have on quarantine, I thought I'd be vulnerable. So here goes. I don't like my comfort zone, but I'm afraid to leave it. I know that in the work I do, people expect to learn from me, trust me, and put their faith in me. Yet sometimes I have trouble putting faith in myself. By being part of this community for so long, I have realized that faith is about giving love and receiving love. My goal has always been to provide a place for the youth of Temple B'nai Israel to feel safe enough and loved enough to grow and experience. It's not always easy to love teenagers, especially at 3 a.m. on the floor of a synagogue in DC, or after a long day at a Kallah, and they just want to talk a little more. But then again, like them, I'm not always easy to love. I get cranky and irritable and find that sometimes it's easier to just take care of the logistics myself instead of taking the time to show and teach them so they can learn for themselves. But I guess that's what they mean by unconditional love. This high I get from being a part of your life, of seeing a generation of teens proceed through B'nai Mitzvah and into young adulthood, a little more complete in their Judaism and a lot more complete in who they are as people. Watching you grow into your own skin and figure out whom you are is as much about filling my own need for love as it is about the actual skill or lesson you are getting from me. I don't like my comfort zone, but I'm afraid to leave it. But everyone has to try new adventures one day. This week's Torah portion takes place at Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai is where the people of Israel learn who they are. It's where we receive the 10 Commandments and the rules we are told to live by. And it's where the Israelites prepare for the long journey to the Promised Land. In many ways, Mount Sinai is the place where the Israelites grew up. Next week, God kicks the Israelites off Mount Sinai and out of their comfort zone. The Israelites as a people are not fully grown yet, but God says it's time and sends them off into the wilderness, which will eventually lead them to the Promised Land. You, yes, I'm talking to you, Jacob, Amanda, Sophie, Josh, Sophie, and Alana. You're a little like the Israelites right now. You've been given your commandments from your parents, your friends, your community, from Temple, and even from me. Now you're being kicked out of your comfort zone and onto new adventures, which will eventually help lead you to your own promised land. Even as the world changes around you, as many things that you've come to rely on, Nifty and camp, are changing, you too will change and find yourself outside your comfort zone. There's a midrash, a story, that when one feels two opposing feelings at the same time, a holy moment has happened. The Israelites, as they were leaving Mount Sinai, were excited about this great land that God promised them, but at the same time, a little frightened by leaving everything they knew. What a fabulous paradox. Leaving my comfort zone didn't mean leaving everything I knew and everyone I loved. I could still love them, and they could still love me. It just means we get to love them from afar. Haven't we all become experts at this with social distancing? This will always be your home. For some, you've been a part of Temple B'nai Israel since before you were born. For some, you became part of this community later in life. But experiences like Aroma Coffee in South Beach, Disney parades, and confirmation services have set the foundation for this feeling like home. Graduating high school is definitely about pushing you outside your comfort zone, and your love for your family will always bring you home. But your love for life and adventure will continually force you to try new things. Yet along the way, you will be loved and supported because of the foundation we have built together. You are now part of my story. I would not be who I am today if it were not for you. You challenge my dreams, question my soul, and fill my heart with memories. I hope I've been able to inspire you the way you continue to inspire me. Continue to nurture the child within. May your work-play equation always balance. Hold your head up because you have every right to. Tell yourself you're a great person and believe in yourself because I believe in you. You can make of your life anything you wish. Create your own life and then go out there and live it. True love wouldn't be worth having if along the way, the highs you missed out on without experiencing the lows. The Kotzer Rabbi teaches, the only whole heart is a broken one. A well-lived life is one in which we grow from pain, for the ills of existence are inseparable from its lesson. To live unscathed is to forfeit life's richness. Thank you for allowing me to not live unscathed. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Yasher koach, Danny, a really beautiful job. And now we're going to hear from Bridget.
Hi. So, wasn't originally going to speak to you guys tonight, but my heart said I had to. As I drove around town today with Danny and got to see your smiling faces, it hit me that this group of people has made a bigger impact on who I've become as a youth director than I ever could have imagined. And I wrote it in a lot of your books. I said, thank you. Thank you for being the people who can inspire those of us around you. You know, we say a lot at Nifty events and we say a lot in our youth group events that it's about those connections that we form. And you all, as a group, helped form connections that are going to last lifetimes. You're going to take those connections and you're going to take them to college and you're going to take them beyond, but you've also left connections that I get to take and I get to foster to create new yous. And that's kind of cool because I've said to you all, what legacy are you leaving? And if you look behind you, that no matter what, all of this craziness, you've all left behind a legacy that we are now creating new yous. These people and these wonderful students who want to be a part of this awesomeness that we have started to create. We made a new youth group that started with you. We made a new place that started with you. You said we want more things, and here we are. And I want you to take that creativeness that you started to foster and bring it on, because I know you can. So thank you for helping me. Thank you for helping this temple. And thank you for being the inspiring and wonderful people that you are. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Bridget. Yasher koach, very nice.
Rabbi, you're muted.
Good.
Oops.
Oh, there they. Okay. Mazel tov to you, our graduating class of 2020. Thank you so much for leading us in prayer this evening and for sharing your reflections. I know for our TBI community, not to mention your parents, it is a surreal experience being here today, celebrating with you as you prepare for the next stage of your lives, as many of you have grown up before our very eyes. We have shared sacred moments together, baby namings, b'nai mitzvah, and confirmation experiences, just to name a few. We have witnessed your many talents in religious school, at youth group programs, at camp, at Nifty, Kalot, or just hanging around the synagogue. You have displayed leadership beyond your years, wisdom and insight that belies your age. You have shown kindness to your peers and inspired your teachers. You have been and will continue to be bright, exuberant sparks lighting up our community. You are all amazing young adults, and we are so blessed to be sharing this moment with you. This is not the senior send-off service you were expecting just a couple of months ago. This experience, like so many other milestone moments over the past weeks, has by necessity been transformed due to the realities we face due to the coronavirus. While we affirm and uphold the essential Jewish value of pikuach nefesh, saving a life, and thus continue to hold virtual gatherings to prevent the spread of this virus, we also understand the disappointment and sorrow which results from physical distancing and the inability to gather and celebrate as we envisioned. We all share in these feelings of frustration and loss. As graduating seniors, you are experiencing a moment of transition as you begin a new phase of your young lives. And transitions, even in a perfect world, are not easy. They are filled with conflicting emotions, joy and excitement to be sure, but also perhaps some anxiety and sadness as we approach a moment of profound change. So how much the more so when a transition occurs in our lives during a time of duress and uncertainty. But while COVID-19 has dramatically and drastically transformed this moment of transition, it does not define it. Not being able to walk across the stage at graduation to accept your diploma does not negate all of the hard work you have performed to reach this moment. Not being physically surrounded by friends and loved ones, all who would give anything and everything to hug and embrace you, does not mean they're any less proud of you and your accomplishments. The coronavirus has changed how we celebrate, but not why we celebrate. So tonight we celebrate you, all that you are and all that you will become. We rejoice in your achievements and eagerly anticipate word of your future triumphs, which will no doubt be many. We praise you for your maturity, your grace, your inner strength, and perseverance that you have shown these past months, and will serve you well as you continue upon life's journey. And as you take this vital, inevitable, beautiful step forward into a future full of promise and light, know that you carry in your hearts, in your minds, in your souls, the special heritage that has been given to you by your family, by your teachers, and by your Jewish tradition. Know that no matter where your next steps may take you, you're always part of the Temple B'nai Israel family. We leave you now with the following words of blessing inspired by Debbie Friedman's song, World of Your Dreams. May you see your world created in your lifetime. May you see your visions come to be. May your hope touch every generation to come. May you be blessed with understanding, with wisdom and compassion always in your heart. May your tongue be filled with song and your lips sing out for justice. And may the world you live in be the world of your dreams. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Mazel tov. I'm now going to turn it over to Laura as we join together in Shehechianu as we reach this momentous milestone occasion in our lives. It was beautiful, and amen, everybody. And now, Laura, do you have another song for us?
I do indeed. Yes, I do.
Okay.
It is another work by Debbie Friedman. The words are based on a text from the prophet Joel. And the song is called "And the Youth Shall See Visions." Childhood was for fantasies, for nursery rhymes and toys. The world was much too busy to understand small girls and boys. As I grew up, I came to learn that life was not a game, that heroes are just people that we called another name. And the old shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see visions, and our hopes shall rise up to the sky. We must live for today, we must build for tomorrow. Give us time, give us strength, give us life. Now I'm grown, the years have passed, I've come to understand there are choices to be made, and my life's at my command. I cannot have a future till I embrace my past. I promise to pursue the challenge, time is going fast. And the old shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see visions, and our hopes shall rise up to the sky. We must live for today, we must build for tomorrow. Give us time, give us strength, give us life. Today's the day I take my stand, the future's mine to hold. Commitments that I make today are dreams from days of old. I have to make the way for generations come and go. I have to teach them what I've learned, so they will come to know that the old shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see visions, and our hopes shall rise up to the sky. We must live for today, we must build for tomorrow. Give us time, give us strength, give us life. Give us time, give us strength, give us life. Give us life.
Beautiful. Yasha Koach. That was very nice. So I wanted to thank Laura, Danny, and Bridget for sharing their songs and sharing their words with us this evening to honor our seniors. It really is such a blessing for me to be working with such amazing colleagues and friends. So thank you all very much for that. We're going to continue. Before we actually get to Aleinu, we have one more prayer that's not in our service handout, but it is the counting of the Omer. We are in that period between Passover and Shavuot, where each day we count until we get to the holiday, the festival where we receive the Torah from Mount Sinai. Each day, it's like we're journeying closer to something special, to something holy. And so we have a tradition in Judaism of counting each day when it gets to the evening. And so I'm going to recite the prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat haomer. Blessed are you, eternal our God, the sovereign of all worlds, who has made us holy with your mitzvot and commanding us concerning the counting of the Omer. Hayom shiva ushloshim yom shehem chamisha shavuot u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is the 37th day of the Omer, making 5 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. Getting closer, a couple weeks away.
Yep.
Okay, now that we have counted the Omer, let's join together now in Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני המלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We recall at this time those who have passed away during the past week. Dr. Howard Rubin, husband of Natalie, father of Jonathan. Sheldon Ginsburg, husband to Marley, father to Dana and Barrett. And Larry Krug, husband to Dell, father to Sharon, Ken, and Robert. Send our condolences to those families during their time of grief. We also think of those who passed away during the past year. Hilda Sachs, Edwin Schumann, Roland Fox, Robert Sand, Lee Benjamin, Jim Shapiro, Mildred Cohn, Vita Felmis, Jane North, Gwen Hirschfield, Maxine Roth. And we think of those who died of this season in years past. We are honoring the yurtzeit this week of Semen Amzalak, David Aronchik, Sarah Aronchik, Michael Bixson, Dodie Bolin, Benjamin Borman, Sam Einstein, Minda Reitza Fernando, George Futchko, Sadie Goldman, Samuel Good, Ida Green, Robert Green, Horace Gumpertz, W. Emmett Hawkins, Nancy Jacobs, Murray Kaplan, Gladys Kirschbaum, William Levin, Louis Lilich, Morris Marks, Michael Allen McDonald, Harry Mendelson, Matthew Radetsky, Carl Rosenfeld, Stephen Rosenfeld, Norma Ruttenberg, Nettie Salzman, Celia Schechter, Harry Schulhoff, Fern Halpern Siegel, Henry Singer, Louis J. Stern, Margit Tallering, A. Barry Tallering, Leah Weiss, and Gertrude Weiger. We take all of them into our hearts at this moment, along with all of the loved ones we are thinking of at this time as we join together in Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Bi'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. B'gala v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Le'olam Olmei Olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei Dekudisha Barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata da'miran bi'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei Shloma Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh Shalom Bimramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved, as together we say, Amen.
Amen.
It's now my pleasure to call forward our temple president, Nina Warshofsky, for a few temple announcements. Hi, Nina. We can't hear you, Nina. Fair enough. I'm sure there were wonderful announcements, ones that would have changed the course. Go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Can you hear me?
Hey, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Off the headphones.
I sympathize with you.
Well, I wanted to thank the seniors for leading the service. Many of you may not remember, but I was actually sitting in for Polly during your confirmation. So it's nice to see that all of you made it through senior study, because I know there's lots of things pulling on you. And the fact that you took the extra 2 years to do that is commendable. And my observation on the reason why that happened is that every single one of you attended URJ camp in some form or another. And I think that says a lot for what the URJ offers our teens. And I hope that they can get through this tough year ahead and get back to where they were, so more of our teens and children can go to the URJ. I also wore this shirt specifically tonight because that's where I found my Judaism, was in a Jewish sorority in college. So I encourage all of you to find a Jewish organization, be it a fraternity or a sorority or Hillel or the Jewish Student Union, and just get involved. And, you know, as Sophie said, I challenge you to be actively Jewish for the rest of your lives. And there are a lot of different ways in college you can go about that. So I look forward to seeing you when you come back and tell us all the stories, or we'll hear it from your parents over coffee. But I do have a few announcements. Even though we're not all together, the temple has been doing a lot of things to maintain what we've done in the past and to do things new going forward. As many of you know, this week we put a big push on calling everybody in the congregation just to reach out to them, give them a couple announcements and see how they're doing. I believe we've called probably 95% of you. If you haven't gotten a call, expect one in the next day or two. And we're doing a lot of things, like as I said, to move forward. We've had a programming task force to see how we can transfer some of our programs to virtual events. We've had a fundraising meeting because we, you know, coming up this Saturday, we're missing the poker tournament, which is a revenue generating thing, which we need. So we've come up with some ideas for fundraising. We're going to do something fun. We're going to do a virtual bingo. We're going to have a pre-order drive-through Jewish food festival with Carnegie Deli meats and all of that. So we're going to be announcing that and putting that out in the near future. And then we're starting to talk about having a big fundraiser, kind of like our casino night, where we do it virtually, and we have something like a Jerry Lewis telethon where we have interviews and acts and things like that, and the opportunity to talk to everybody and try to raise some money. And most important to me is we're forming next week a reopening task force to discuss how we can go about slowly rolling out the ability to come back into the synagogue and have small programming and take the steps to get back to where we hope to be in 3 months, 6 months, and a year, hopefully sooner rather than later. And finally, on Sunday, there's going to be a drive-through religious school where Danny and all the teachers are going to be out there with end-of-year packages for everybody. I think there's some bagels involved. There always has to be a little food. So for the families that are driving through, I hope to see you on Sunday. And for everybody else, I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Nina. So I want to again say Mazel Tov to all of our seniors for leading us in services and doing such a beautiful job with those reflections. They were really meaningful, really heartfelt, and just really happy to have the opportunity to be with you for this evening. Another big thank you to Danny and to Bridget for assembling this wonderful senior Shabbat send-off gift bags and really just did a lovely job. And they drove through the neighborhoods today and distributed them. And I think it was a really sweet thing to do. So I appreciate all of their great work there as well. Again, it's basically in keeping with all the great work they've done the entire year and their entire time here at TBI. So we appreciate it very much. Let's now move to our concluding song, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Lovely. Let's now join together in Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
That's lovely. As we conclude our service in just one moment, I'm going to actually unmute everybody. And so we can say Shabbat Shalom to each other one final time before we depart. I also wanted to say one last thing. There's a great midrash, one of my favorites, where God blesses Abraham and Sarah. And so God tells them what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to interact with the world. And it's only 2 words, and it's beautiful. Hevei bracha, be a blessing. And so that's how I'd like to sort of end this evening for all of us to think about as we go forward in all of our journeys, our seniors, but really all of us gathered here tonight. Hevei bracha, be a blessing. Be a blessing to your friends, to your family, to your community, to everybody. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And we're now going to unmute and let everyone join in.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Congratulations, seniors.
Hey, seniors, the challah is really good. Eat it.
Yeah, I know.
And maybe don't challah.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's packed.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Joanna, congratulations.
Congratulations, seniors.
I'm glad the seniors were able to hold back the giggles.
Shalom.
Not easy.
Holly. Shabbat Shalom. No, she's right there.
Declines. Happy Shabbat.
Hey, Deborah. Hello.
Hey,
Shabbat
Polly.
Shalom, everyone.
Congratulations, seniors.
Hey, Debbie.
Bye.
Congratulations, Jacob.
Heartwarming service.
Good job, Nina.
Thank you, Polly. I learned from the best.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Amy.
Hi. Hi. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, all of you. Shabbat Shalom. Especially the seniors did such a good job.
They did.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shalom, Laura.
I want to put it on, George. Shabbat Shalom, Rodinsky family.
And the same to you guys.
Oh, last minute appearance by the Rodniskis.
I heard you saying goodbye. Here's Danielle.
Hey, Danielle.
Cantor Rogniski.
Shabbat shalom to you guys. Bye-bye.
Shabbat shalom.
Hi.
Hi, Judy and Mark.
Hi, George and Irene and Danielle.
Cantor Rodniski.
See that smiling face.
I know. I have to call her Cantor Rodniski from this point.
Yes, indeed.
We all have to call her Cantor.
She got ordained in our kitchen. Okay.
I was watching, yeah.
Nice to see you, Cantor Rodinsky.
Nice to see you and your very grown-up granddaughter.
Yes, it's amazing.
I did all these kids' b'nai mitzvah. It's really hard to believe.
I know. I was thinking that. I would bring her to you.
It was wonderful.
Yes.
It's nice to see
lovely.
you.
We're glad we could see it.
So nice to see you. Hi, George.
Hi, everybody.
Enjoying having our daughter with us for the last 2 months. So
For sure.
been great.
That's the good part of all this horror.
I know. It is.
Yes.
Stay
healthy. We love you.
We love you.
So, Rabbi, how's the family?
You
Thank God. Thank you. Everyone's doing okay.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Laura, thanks for leading the music.
Yes.
You're welcome. Is it sounding better?
Yeah, the microphone sounds like it's better.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know. I used it with the iPad yesterday for one of my classes. It didn't want to cooperate tonight, so I apologize for that. But
no,
put it on the laptop. That's all.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Shabbat shalom to everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Bye. Bye-bye.
See you all later.
Shabbat shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.